All right, happy Monday, all. This is L. Jermaine Russell. I'm here, and I wanted to, excuse me. I wanted to show you essentially what some of these stocks were doing today. I was not planning on recording anything today just because I have a really hectic day today, and I really didn't even get to do any trading because I was traveling on the train for majority of the day, but like I've said before, if you go to my LinkedIn page, just type in L. Jermaine Russell, and you will see my article that I wrote on supply and demand and how it affects the stock market or the stocks that you're actually interested in picking up. Why is my internet so slow today? But essentially, this is how I am able to pick the stocks that I pick and uh, you know and use it for my advantage, and it has been helping thus far. So like I said, breakout stock prices follow supply and demand. Um, so give it a look through if you want. Really kind of just like grasp what it's saying. I know there's a lot of technical language in it, but even though it's technical language doesn't mean that you can't learn it. This is where having a seeking spirit and trying to understand the stock market and utilize it to your own benefit makes it even better. So I do want to go over some, you know, actually, the stock that I was holding over the weekend was ZN. See, I have a meeting. Look at that. See, already telling me what time I got to get there and how I got to be there. So ZN, I bought it on Friday, mainly because it closed over this 100-day moving average, and that was good enough for me. That was strong enough for me to give me some type of idea that it would do good today. But today, the markets were pretty red. And there's a lot of trade wars going on between China and America. China is starting to, really put on some scaling onto the tariffs that they want on America. America, President Trump, he's trying to figure out, where he can really tax or put more tariffs onto Chinese products and stuff like that. So it's really putting a lot of strains on businesses, especially businesses that are invested internationally. So ZN, even though it's a domestic company, I still I felt that it would probably do well, but I wasn't 100% sure. And because I wasn't sure the early morning, what happened is that it ended up collapsing, but it ended up picking up steam towards the end. Towards the end of the day, you see this collapse is a giant collapse. I got out at 360, so I ended up losing 20 cents a share, but it did bounce back, which was good. And it came near its high of the day. So, I'm not sure how much I see it actually moving tomorrow, just because if you look on the hour chart, or the day chart. For today, this is very thin. I don't like it when it starts getting thin. That means that it's thinning out on buyers. Even as strong as this one was, this could probably do the same. It might just trade sideways near this 100-day moving average. I'm not 100% sure, but I do have my eye on it. I will continue to keep my eye on it. But I did get out. Like I said, I lost 20 cents a share, and I end up getting into another stock. And I probably got into it a little bit too soon. When I say too soon, meaning that I got in at, I probably could have waited because there were other plays that were available, which I will show in like the next 2 minutes. So TSRI is a low float stock. This has a float size of barely 2 million, just approaching 2 million. But like I said, it did close above the 100-day moving average, and I looked at it when it last time closed over the 100-day moving average and what type of move did it make, and it did make one exemplary move. Like it just shot straight on up from the 5s to the 10s. So I ended up buying this at 560. mainly it's low. It's low. You know, like the shares is like, you know, the volume is so low. It is scary. I don't like it when a stock trades, you know, 100,000 or 150,000 in the day. I'm not talking about in the morning, but in the day. In the day, that is scary. That's probably one of the worst things that I can ever put myself through. So, no, I ended up buying it, and then, like I said, it was basically because of the spikes that it had in the past. It had a nice spike there, had a nice spike here, had a nice gap up right here. So the only thing that did make me worry was this little thingamajig. I have no idea what was going on in that day, and it was recent. So I know that this is being pumped. So because it's being pumped, I got the email this morning. I figured I would jump in. I could have sold at 640, but I figured I would do another day and see what would happen for the morning. Hopefully, it can get a nice push in the pre-market. When I say a nice push, I'm talking about a push to the 672s. If we can get the 672, then maybe it might get up to $77. So literally looking for a 670, 672 area. I wouldn't mind selling with that overnight trade. So that would be really good. But what has really, and I know it was I traded it last week. When I traded it last week, it was, ABIL. This is one stock that I really didn't even think that I had an idea. That, hey, it could possibly continue to trade higher. It's over the 100-day moving average. But man, when I said I bought this originally. Where's my notebook? I bought this at like 5:45, I think it was, on Thursday. And then I sold it just because I said, I talked about on the previous video. I don't really want to get into the, I was revenge trading and all that stuff. I sold it, right? So this was Friday, and this was this is Friday. This is today. I sold it. Somewhere in here because it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, right? I ended up losing, I think it was like 10 cents a share or something like that. No, I don't know. It was something that, was not very significant. It was enough for me to say, I learned from it. But what did I really learn is that this stock still had potential to move. And coming from, its move on Thursday going into Friday, and then Friday really doing nothing, and then into Monday, there's no news, there's really nothing, and it's just going. And if I just waited with a little bit more patience, I could have possibly got in like right around here, right where the VWAP and the 100-day moving average was starting to converge, was starting to shift over. I could have waited and possibly got in there. But I didn't. I got in with TSRI, and it just moved, just moved so nicely. There's like and it's hard for me to trade off my phone. All right, I'm eating chips, so I don't know if I have stuff on my face, but it's hard for me to trade from my phone. When I trade on my phone, it makes it a little bit difficult because I can't really see, and I really want to extend out the chart, like doing something like this, or really want to see what's going on with the history of the chart. And as we see with the history of this chart, it wasn't doing anything back here. I think they probably had like some reverse splits or something. I don't see it, but by 115, and then now all of a sudden the low was $2, and now it's spiking up to 10. I don't know. I have no idea. There's no real news. Nothing to really justify why it's moving, except that these markets suck, and then you have a stock like this that just goes up exponentially. Like, it just overtook all of its selling that it did on Friday. So I have no idea, and it was just ripping into the close. And I say, there's nothing. I'm not one to chase. But damn, that is something that definitely moved, definitely had some great inspiration to go higher. So You know, when you follow when you follow, you know, a lot of the technical things that I wrote in this article, it shows you stocks like this. And today, the Dow was down. How much was the Dow down? The Dow was down something crazy too, right? Market watch. Visualize indices. Come on. Why are you so slow today? There we go. Look at the market. The market is super red. Like, well, there might be some green, right? Let's narrow in. The Dow was red. Nasdaq, ready red. Russell, ready red. Probably had some consumables, and some utilities that was doing all right. S&P 500, you know, you had some utilities and consumer staples was, you know, but relatively everything was down. You know, I think the Dow was officially down about 300 points. So, you know, when you have stuff like that and you are still able to find stocks that are moving at such a rate. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to XBIO. Now, these are two stocks that were in my watch list. And I know I didn't send out a watch list on Sunday night like I normally should do or would do, but you know, it was a long weekend. I had stuff to do, but at the end of the day, you know, you have monumental moves like this. Like, good God, like you don't like anytime when I see a stock that does this right here, and then it does this on this day. Like it does get me worried. I don't know if I really want to play it the following day, but you know, once it starts moving, and it starts moving like a good 5%, like literally, it out the gates it wasn't doing anything, but right around 10, 17, just shot up, and then look, hold on, is this the one? No, there was one that say, hey, might be for potential, you know, short squeeze move later on. I think that was ABIL, right? Like they were trying to warn investors. Yeah, watch for technical indicators and profit taking, and stock has experienced extreme volatility. So essentially, you know, this staying clear of a short squeeze. You know, you didn't want to get caught with that, but at the end of the day, you know, if you're a short seller, you don't want to get caught with a short squeeze. And you know, short squeeze, you know, look at Investopedia. It will tell you everything. All these terminologies that I'm throwing at you, Investopedia. The information is out there. You can, you know, you can get it. You can get it. It's there. Like, you know, so a move like this is just insane. It was just freakishly insane. It did pull back. And this is the reason why I don't like chasing stocks, because once it does this exponentially and it comes back, you know, here would probably been a good place to say, hey, it might do something, just because it's bouncing around the 100-day moving average, and the VWAP is trading in between it, you know, from 525 to 612. 525 to 612, you know, that's a little over, that's like 80 cents a share right there. So you would have been doing just fine on this trade. Like that's a good in and out in a matter of minutes. Like, you know, this is all lunchtime. You know, during the lunchtime you can make your money. So like that's the one other thing I just want to say or reiterate once again is that when you're buying or you're selling stocks, usually the most action is going to happen in the morning, right? Or in the afternoon. See, you know, make me feel like I'm crazy. Well, over here, not much, but it did bounce back on up, and it's still trying to go up a little bit more in the after hours. And so those two were the most volatile stocks. I did see CADC. It did spike up, but you know, I'm not one to chase. I was looking at it, and I was looking at it mainly just because it was a Chinese company, and I know that how, you know, in China and Chinese, government and the American government, how they're working right now is probably not in the best of each other's favor. But if I had to put my money on anything, I'll put my money on the Chinese with what they're doing. So, with that being said, I did see this. I just ignored it because ABIL had more of my attention. IBIO, XBIO had more of my attention. TSRI, like I said, I bought it, but I bought it a little bit sooner than I probably could have. So, we shall see what happens tomorrow. Maybe ZN might actually gap up. ZN might actually gap up and do something worthwhile. Since it didn't do anything today, and I just got out just to protect my account, essentially. So I did recover all of whatever I lost on here with TSRI, but now we just gotta wait until the morning to see what it does, and then I can cash in myself. So I hope this was helpful. Like I said, once again, take a look at this article. Maybe it might help you. You might have to read over 3 or 4 times. I'm not saying that I am the best writer at all, but I will try to give you detail. And I even put a video in the middle of it, just so you can see me and see me trying to figure out what is good and what's not good. And I think it was like right here, yeah, it's just not loading. I don't know why my internet is slow today, but either way, have a great day. Have to get ready for meetings, and hopefully I can still be able to do jiu-jitsu later. So, take care, enjoy. I want to get out of this. Yes, you are slowing me. Enjoy the day.